Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to our Sunday night training where we're going to do a little bit of a deeper dive into our prosperity plan here at APLGO. And it does all start with something that is crucially important to our company that makes us so unique than every other company on the market. And that is the fact that we have something called rank and we have something called status, and they're very different. Okay. Now, most companies have rank. That's where you join a company, they give you a little percentage of commissions. And then as you move up in different ranks, right? Sometimes they have the names of gemstones, sometimes they have the names of directors and managers and all the things, but it's all kind of the same. So your rank will determine how much you get paid. And as you move up in rank, it opens up bigger pay percentages. Okay, that's almost every company in network marketing. So this company is a little bit different because we also have something called status. And your status is determined by your initial purchases over the first 90 days and or your customer orders in the first 90 days. So you can either purchase a higher status or you can enroll enough customers to earn a higher status. And your status is going to be determining of your pay percentages in two of the biggest ways that we get paid. So here's why that makes a difference. If you join another company, you get involved and you're making 10% of your group bonuses or however they pay out on commissions, right? Then you have to work, do more work to hit another rank to maybe get 12%. Then once you're at the 12% base, then you got to work again. And maybe some point you'll hit where it's 15% and then maybe 18%. And then usually they cap at 20%. That's kind of the standard in our industry. And the great thing about that versus what we have is that your rank could take years. I mean, in other companies I've been in, it took 3 to 5 years to get to the highest rank where they're paying the highest percentages. And in this company, because we have something called status, we can earn the highest percentages, the same as the people at the top of the company, from the first day that we start. Okay, so why is that important? If you're going to do work, do you want to get paid 10% or do you want to get paid 30%? Right? I think we all would choose 30%. But the biggest difference is this. If you think back to other companies you maybe have been involved with, if you were making the same percentages as the top enrolled people in the company, the top paid people in the company from day one, how much more would your income have been? How much longer would you have stayed? Okay, these are all things that make our status really, really a big, important part of our prosperity plan. Okay, so your status is going to determine your binary group bonuses, your unilevel group bonuses, and all of these bonuses we're going to go over right now. And then your rank, as you do work and move up in rank in the company, it does unlock additional different ways we get paid. Matching group bonus, infinity, lifestyle, entertainment, and luxury bonuses. Okay, so let's get started with all of these payways. So the first one is the customer bonus. Now, this bonus doesn't matter what your status is. It doesn't matter what your rank is. Everybody makes the same amount of percentage on the customer bonus, which is 30%. Okay, it is gigantic. That is an enormous customer bonus. A lot of companies, they say you're going to make 10% on your first 10 people, and then on your next set of 10 people, you make 15%. You know, like this. Ours is not. Ours is 30% from day one on your very first person and everybody after that. Okay. One thing that's a little different about our customer bonus is that they take the 30% commission they pay you, and then they take the additional PV beyond that 30% and they add it to your additional compensation plan unilevel bonuses. Now, do I know 100% how this works? No, it's been 5 years. I do not know how it works. I just know that I see it in the back office, so I know it's true. So it's actually in our pay plan, 63% of every dollar spent at APLGO, 63% of it goes back into the pay plan. But when customers place orders, 74% of that dollar that a customer spends goes back into the pay plan. Okay. So the first big associate bonus you're going to make is called a fast start bonus. And this is another one that doesn't matter what your status is or your rank. You're going to make the same amount of income. Every single one of us on this call make the exact same amount of income. It's a one-time maybe, and I'll explain that in a minute, bonus that is when brand new associates begin. So if you enroll a new associate at the 100 promoter status, you're going to make 10%, which is $10. If you enroll an associate at the $3,000 diamond status, you're going to make 20%, which is $600. Okay. So I say one time because it's actually could be multiple times until they hit diamond. So every time somebody comes into the business, you get a fast start bonus the day they start. And every time they upgrade, you're also going to get incrementally another fast start bonus all the way up to 600. So let me give you an example. Let's say somebody comes in as a $600 status. That's the mentor status. You get a first start bonus of $105. But a couple months go by, and let's say they upgrade their account all the way up to diamond status, right? Because they are not diamond on their first order, and it took them 2 times to get to that, you are going to make the difference in fast start bonus between the first and the second order. So the first time you're going to make $105. When they upgrade from the mentor to the diamond, you're going to make an additional $495. Okay. So it's a one-time bonus, but it's one time all the way up to diamond. The next big bonus you're going to earn is your group binary bonus. It's the most common and most popular, and sometimes the biggest way that we get paid, especially in the beginning. Okay. So this bonus is based on your status. So if you are at the promoter status, you're going to make 10%. If you're at the builder status, you're going to make 20%. If you're at the VIP or diamond status, you're going to make 30%. And that is a percentage of the volume created on your lesser leg. So let's talk about 2 things. One is, what is volume? Okay. Volume is attached to the dollar amount that they spend coming into the business. Okay. So when somebody comes into the business on let's say a $750 pack, there is a $300 volume attached to that package. Okay. If somebody comes in at the diamond status pack, there is a $1,200 volume attached to that diamond status. Okay. So every dollar amount, there is an attached volume amount, and the volume is what you're paid on. So, for example, if you're a diamond, you're earning 30% of your lesser leg, okay? Because it is based on your status. So whether it's your first person or your 100th person, doesn't matter. If they are on your lesser leg, and let me explain lesser. So look at the example on the left. You can see that the one side has 9,000 in volume. The right hand, and this BV standing for bonus volume, okay? BV, bonus volume, or group volume, sometimes they call it as well. 9,000 on one side, 10,000 on the other side. Which leg is lesser? Okay, based on this example. Okay, you can see it's the left team. Now, is the left team always going to be the lesser team, the lesser leg? No. It will be based on all the volume that comes into your business each day will determine which leg is lesser. In fact, sometimes it'll be one, sometimes it'll be the other. Sometimes they flip-flop back and forth throughout the month, and that's totally fine. But in the moment you're getting paid, it will be paid based on which leg is lesser in the moment. So for example, If you have 9,000 on your lesser leg, you're going to times that by 30%, which is a $2,700 commission. Okay. Now, because you have 9,000 on the left and 10,000 on the right, that means there's 1,000 that wasn't utilized. Okay. Because you once you're paid, you minus the 9,000 you're paid on from both sides. So the extra 1,000 is like rollover minutes. It just rolls over to the next month. So most people if they've been here for 30 days or longer will have some rollover volume, possibly from the person above you who's placing people below you. And that volume will roll over month after month after month after month until it is all utilized and paid on. The next bonus we're going to talk about is the check matching. And this is the exciting one. This is the one that is the pay it forward model where we all work as a team to create large incomes. And these percentages are based on the group volume. So we're going to use this same example from above. Okay. In this example, you saw 9,000 on one side, 10,000 on the other. You're paid on the lesser side. So that's 9,000 volume times 30%, $2,700. Now, let's say you sponsored this person who made this $2,700. Okay, let's come down here to the check matching. If you sponsored that person, you are going to make a check match 20% because that is your first level of sponsorship. You sponsored them. If they then turn around and sponsor additional people, that would be your level 2. Their people that they sponsor would be considered level 3 and so on down. Now, this bonus is actually created by rank. So as you get higher up in the company by doing more work, right, bringing more people into the business, that's how you open up and unlock additional levels by moving up in rank. So as you move up in the rank, your levels get deeper, which means your paycheck also gets deeper. And we love this bonus because if we're not helping other people make money, we are not making more money either. This is where the real teamwork happens. The unilevel bonus. This is the bonus for all activity and all auto ship orders. Okay, so we talked about the money that you earn on the first start, right? When brand new people come in. We talked about the income that you make when you place them into your lesser leg. Now, every month, that same person is going to place another order, and they're going to place it again and again and again and again and again, right? For years and years. And every time they do that, that volume that's created from that order falls into a unilevel organization. Now, this picture is just basically for explanation purposes. You won't actually see this diagram anywhere in your back office. It does show in a list, but it's easier to explain it when it looks like this. Okay. So everybody that you have personally sponsored shows up on level 1. Everybody that they have sponsored is on level 2. Everybody that group has sponsored is on level 3, and so far down all the way 6 levels. Okay. So if you are any status other than diamond, you will earn 5% commissions on every order placed within your first level, every auto ship order, every activity order. Okay. On level 2, you're going to get 6%. Okay. 6% commissions. On level 3, 7% commissions. On level 4, it's 8% and then 9% and then 10%. But if you are at the diamond status, you are going to earn 10% on all 6 of those levels. So clearly, it should be the goal for everybody to get to diamond as soon as possible because we want to make sure everybody's making the maximum percentage on all of these bonuses. Okay, after the unilevel bonus comes the infinity bonus. Now, people, when I show this slide, I never fails. There's questions in the chat and people always say, okay, but what happens after level 6? Okay. There are many, many companies that have a firm cutoff on levels of pay that you earn. Now, we showed the binary. There's no level cutoff on that one. They could be on level 850. You're still going to get paid the same amount on them. But the unilevel bonus does cut off at level 6 until you hit the rank of national director. When you hit national director, it unlocks level 7 all the way to infinity at 1%. So you make 1% on every single person that is level 7 to infinity. When you hit international director, that increases to 1.5%. And when you hit premier director, it increases to 2.5%. Now think about this. If you bring in 10 people on level 1, and they each bring in 10 people, and they each bring in 10 people who bring in 10 and 10 and 10, it means on level 7, you could have 700 people on level 7 that you're making 1% of every single order they make every month, all month, every year, for however many years they place orders. That is where the enormous incomes are made. And this way that we get paid, the unilevel bonus and this infinity bonus, this is what creates solid and stable residual paychecks. Okay. The first bonuses we talked about are great for fast money up front, for creating team excitement in the binary bonuses. But this bonus here, I don't think many people get how we're paid here. But once you start to understand it, this is how you know we have a very solid and stable prosperity plan. Then we have two bonuses, one called the activity bonus and one called the lifestyle bonus. Both of these activate at month 13. So on month 13, it means when you have been active and qualified for 12 months consistently. So let's talk about those words, active and qualified. Active means that you have placed an order every month for 12 months at least 40 PV. That's about $50 or $60 every single month. Qualified means that you have somebody that you personally sponsored on your right and that you personally sponsored on your left, and they have both placed orders consistently for 12 months each. So active and qualified. If you can maintain this for 12 months, on month 13, these two bonuses activate automatically. So the first one, $10 at the end of every month, and it will go consecutively for an additional 12 months. Okay. Then it looks back to see if you were activated and qualified for that 12 months, and then it goes for another 12 months. So it's like a discount, right? You get a $10 per month discount on your auto ships. Nice little perk. The second one, the lifestyle bonus, 5% of the group bonus that you earned on a rolling 12-month period. Okay. So that means that you have earned a bonus in the group bonuses, right? That we talked about, the binary group bonuses. And whatever bonus you earned on month 1, they're going to give you another 5% of that bonus on month 13. Isn't that cool? So then on month 14, they're going to look all the way back to month 2. They're going to see what your group bonuses were for in month 2 and give you another additional 5% of that on month 14. Same thing for month 15. They look all the way back to your month 3, take that group bonus amount, give you an additional 5% of that. So you are getting paid a lifestyle bonus up to $300 per month on work that you did a year earlier. How cool is that? So when you look at what you're making, the income you're making, especially if you're new within your first year, you have to realize that in a year from now, you're going to continuously get paid on the work you've done. Okay, that's residual income. Then we have an entertainment bonus. The entertainment bonus is for our elite ranks. So national director, international director, premier director. And as you hit these ranks, you unlock this entertainment bonus. They were going to call it a car bonus or a vehicle bonus, but not everybody is going to use $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000 on their car, right? A lot of us, this is the income that we use when we travel with the company. We buy our flights with this, our extra hotel rooms. So this is an incredible bonus, an additional $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000 a month. And when you hit the ambassador ranks, you still do get this $3,000. They pay you this $3,000 every single month after month after month. Our luxury bonus. I mean, this bonus is amazing. When you hit ambassador, a trip for two to anywhere in Europe, anywhere you want. You can choose anywhere, Italy, Rome, you could go to anywhere you choose, Greece or Moldova or Russia, wherever you want to go. But it's a all-included trip for two anywhere in Europe. When you hit gold ambassador, you get a trip for two to anywhere in the world. Maybe you want to go to Australia or New Zealand, or maybe you want to go to Fiji or Thailand, wherever you want to go. Okay. And you get into the you get a privileged club member ring. I know it's a diamond ring because I saw one the last time we were in Moldova with the team. It's beautiful. When you hit platinum ambassador, you get an exclusive Swiss watch. You get free flights and accommodations to all of the APLGO events for an entire year. Now, let me tell you where some of these events are. Moldova, Bulgaria. They do an event in Germany to celebrate Oktoberfest every year. They do one in Spain. They're doing one in Peru. They, of course, do one here in the US, but free flights and accommodations for every single APLGO event you choose to attend for an entire year. When you hit Diamond Ambassador, you get a diamond bracelet or earrings, whichever one they're giving out that particular year. You get a one-time bonus of $100,000 cash and another year of those free flights and accommodations to all of the APLGO events for an entire year. And Crown Ambassador. I mean, who thinks of these things? Only right, Sergey, who's so eccentric and so fun. You get your one-time bonus of $200,000, but an apartment paid for an entire year anywhere in the world. I mean, would you even know where you would go? Can you imagine for an entire year just picking a country and living there for free on the company? Plus, you're also, of course, going to get those free flights and accommodations to all the APLGO events for the entire year. I mean, imagine the possibilities. This is our prosperity plan. It's incredible. And I hope that helped bring you guys some excitement, but also helped you understand it a little bit more by giving you just a little more details about each specific bonus. So are there any questions about the plan so far?